Katika kipindi tunakuletea wasanii.
What's up my guys, I go by the name Rainams.
Eti nikipita kwa macho na nipimia, na kama sina pesa unguwezi nipimia. Hapa Shenster the Poet manze.
Ngoma moto moto.
If you wanna show some love, I don't fake it. Hey, da kumenya mawazo makuu. Nani anadera shule. Oh, rutani waku.
Vichekesho mkisongaza. Mahojiano moto moto, stori za wasanii pamoja na talanta za wasanii.
Fiki wa kasi gani kama wapatikani wakati wa shida.
Na pia kwenye kipindi utabambika, utajijenga, utaelimika, utakuza talanta yako.
My name is Rebecca Mutie, I'm a model and I'm Afri Kenya. I'm a student. Napenda kusikiza kipindi cha Bonga na Katoni kila Jumatatu kuanzia saa 9 mpaka saa 10.
Kumbuka ni kwenye Bonga na Katoni ndani ya TAS TV kuanzia saa 9 hadi saa 10 kila siku ya Jumatatu.
This is Bonga na Katoni in TAS TV. Karibuni.
Get informed on what is happening in our political scenes and people who are making headlines in different parts of the country and the world right here at TAS TV. Join me, Lavin Nyagoa, as I bring to you weekly news highlights that are factual every Friday at 4 o'clock. See you then. Good evening, a long time no see, but better late than never. We are back and welcome to Counting the Red Ribbon. As always, I am your favorite host, Lavin Nyagoa, and on this amazing episode, I have a very beautiful guest, a very beautiful young girl who's going to, just help us talk about the topic that we have today. Remember to follow TAS TV across all social media platforms at TAS TV_KE on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, at TAS TV on Facebook, and at TAS TV official on YouTube. And in case you'd like to see our website, you can check www.tastv.co.ke. Now, remember, this amazing episode is proudly sponsored by the Smart Shopper, and on this amazing episode, we focus on these beautiful necklaces that you can buy for your friends, you can buy for your parents, you can buy for your daughter, your son, depending on who you'd love to buy the necklace for. The prices range from 700 all the way to 100. We have 2 pieces, we have 1 piece, and we have 3 pieces. So in case you're interested on the same, you can call the number 0798154042. And please don't forget to let me know, how have you been? Did you miss this episode? And what do you think should be featured more on this amazing episode? In case you've just forgotten, Counting the Red Ribbon is all about persons living with HIV and AIDS and how to deal with it, how to work around it, how it impacts us. Those are some of the things that we need to learn, which is not far away from what we are discussing today. The topic of the day is HIV and AIDS among university students, and that age bracket consists mostly of the youth. So generally we are talking about HIV and AIDS among the young people, that is youths. Karibu sana.
Thank you so much.
You look so beautiful.
Thank you. Also look amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling okay. How are you doing?
I'm good as well. So please introduce yourself. Tell our guests who you are and what you do.
Okay. So I go by the name Zaituni Hamisi. Currently I am a student, but kidogo tuko karibu kumaliza to join the industry.
Yeah.
So pursuing media, but today I'm honored to be here, so that we can talk more about, lazima pia tujue well-being za pia wenye una get?
Yeah. Those who are around us. Interesting. So Zaituni, maybe just to, start us off, HIV and AIDS is something that is, very, very sensitive, and it's something that affects especially the youth, and the age bracket that we are focusing on right now is mostly the young people who are in universities, colleges, TVET, just the schools, the age between 18, let me just say 16 to around 25, 26 years old, because that is mostly the age bracket we have in universities. So looking at these students, in the recent past, we've seen incidences where, I don't know if there's a media outlet on Instagram that if you watch, probably you've come across such kind of incidences where people reveal the secrets that they have done, or the things that they have done, and kinakwanga feature ID, something of the sort. And we've seen incidences where some people confess to actually infecting other people with HIV and AIDS. Just starting us off, what would you like to say about that?
About like the people who are already infected wenye wanataka sasa like wanataka kuinfect wengine, that's not good. Hata kidogo. It's not good. Na hata kama unafikiria wewe kwako it's good, it's not good hadi mbele ya Mungu, honestly, cause venye wewe ulipata hiyo HIV, useme tunaenda kuambukiza mwenzako, he or she had nothing to do with kenye wewe ulienda ukafanya ndio upate HIV and AIDS, una get? Na already like unajua ulishaenda ukamesa up ukapata hiyo HIV and AIDS, tunafaa kuprotectiana. Unakaa ukijua niko nayo mazee, hata nikinini like nikengage na sex, lazima niko protected, ndio ni protect huyo mwingine mazee. Sasa sifiti hata kidogo.
And just maybe take us through, some of the myths that we have surrounding HIV, and especially among age bracket, because I have been at a place where university students are talking about HIV, and there are some of the things that they were saying that weren't really interesting. Well, to me, they are myths, because HIV is something that I've done so much research on. So maybe just take us through the myths that are the myths about HIV and AIDS.
So like the myths about HIV and AIDS, unapata kuna wase wanasema ati HIV and AIDS inaweza kuwa transmitted through ati tukiongea hivi sasa juu tuko in the same room, una get? So ati sasa juu niko nayo, for example, utapata through tukiongea. Unapata wengine wanasema tukishia kijiko utapata HIV, kama niko nayo utapata HIV. Wengine wanasema sijui ukishika hiyo mlango alafu na wewe kuja ushike utapata. No.
Okay.
Those are all myths.
So that's the first point in umepeana that tukiongea hivi that you can actually get HIV, which is a lie. So that brings in the aspect of stigmatization. What would you like to say about stigmatization, and what can be done just to make sure that this is dealt with or managed?
Well, when it comes to stigmatization, well, like tunafaa tukue need kufanya nini? Why am I forgetting? Ukue like aware of how pia you're talking to someone who has HIV and AIDS. Like mind your words. Una get? Cause like umse hata kama kuna HIV and AIDS ni mtu kama wewe.
Exactly.
Na anahitaji motivation pia ya keep going, una get? Kwa sababu HIV and AIDS ni kitu unaweza live with.
We've seen people live with it.
As far as uko na medication ni kitu unaweza ishi nayo. So stigmatization tunafaa to control how we are talking to people who have HIV. Hata pia tukienda ku advise watu about HIV. Una mind two words, how you speak to them,
how you speak, how you engage with them, and just putting into consideration that there's a way that you should actually engage them that is not going to make them feel some type of way.
Kwa sababu unapata kuna watu wana feel, maybe unapata mtu ana feel isolate na waseju, wanajua watu watani downgrade, watu watanichukulia hivi na hivi, watanitenga. Naget
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So let's now move to, the current state of HIV and AIDS in the country. Recently tumeona the age bracket sana yenye iko mostly affected ni the age between 18 years to 30 years. And that is like the highest number ya HIV iko hapo katikati. So talking about awareness and prevention among the young people, what are your thoughts on the same?
Pardon?
What are your thoughts on, the number of HIV between the age 18 to 30 years? Hapo ndo kuna watu wengi sana wako na HIV. So what exactly can be done to create more awareness, just so people could make sure that, ini kitu tunajua iko, but then there's something that can be done about it. And sisi kama youths, what are we doing to make people more aware of the current situation?
So naweza sema kutengeneza like functions about kusomesha watu pia about HIV, kuwapea knowledge about HIV, ukipata kuna hivi na hivi na hivi. Kitu ingine pia social media platforms ziko mingi sana zenye people can learn about HIV and AIDS. For example, kama kuna hii show inakuanga Inoro TV. Nito daktari ama inaitwaje? Inaitwaje?
Okay,
iko though, but sasa unaona like social media platform kama hiyo sasa wanaleta different types of at least people get to learn about vitu kama hizi. Pia naweza sema like when una engage yourself, yani pia wewe mwenyewe unaenda unafanya research, unasoma pia juu inaweza shika mtu yoyote, haina specific person. So pia wewe unaingia social media, una Google
just to make sure that you're updated with what is happening. And so maybe tukisonga mbele tunaweza sema, what are some of the factors zenye zina contribute to more, increased number of HIV and AIDS in the country?
Increased. Naweza sema lack of unprotected sex. Right? Sindio? Lack of unprotected sex. Kitu ingine kushare hizi needles. Especially kwanza kuna wao wenye wanatumia drugs. Unapata mtu amejidunga alafu anarudi anapea mwenzake anajidunga. Pia in hospitals pia watu unapata kuna, sorry to say, but kuna daktari hawako careful. Unapata ametoka kudunga mtu na hii na bado ndo ataenda kudunga mwingine. Unaget? So unapata sasa increase ya HIV ina increase kwa sababu unapata huyu patient ako na HIV, umeenda ukamdunga hiyo sindano, then hiyo hata ndio unaenda unadunga mwingine nayo.
Exactly.
Unaget? So
and we have people who've really turned out to be, for lack of a better word, insensitive, because you're not just careful with what you are doing. And because you have that bitterness ya niko na hii kitu na sikwa ninataka kukua nayo, you end up infecting the other person or spreading it to other people, thinking that
mtakuwa wengi.
Mtakuwa wengi. There's the aspect of kukua wengi, and ile you're actually making yourself feel better, while not really knowing that iyo wewe kujieka in that position, you are increasing more danger to yourself.
Exactly.
Okay. So aside from those factors that we've talked about, what are some of the ways discussions about HIV that we can make sure are more accessible to us? That is in terms of information. Ni nini exactly tunafaa kufanya? Aside from, of course, you've mentioned there's the campaign side of it that, watu wanafaa kukuwa na hizi functions. Aside from hizo, what else can be done just to make sure that people are educated more about HIV and AIDS?
What else can be done apart from
and especially let's narrow down to the high school side of it. High schools ni nini wanafaa kufanyiwa in terms of education and all that?
Well, in terms of education, maybe tuseme when it comes to high school kunakuwa na some after lessons maybe kunakuwa na maybe wanapanga like hii siku tutapanga ikue we meet like wana meet kama a whole school, wanatafuta counselors wanakam shule wanawa counsel. Unaget? At least hiyo inaweza kuwa better. Unaget? So yeah, kitu ingine naweza sema
And I think that could actually just make it better for everyone, because the moment imeanza kufundishwa in high school, people become more aware of what exactly is happening.
Ndio hata wakitoka high school at least wakitoka huku nje wanajua we na by the way counselor fulani alikam shule akatufundisha 1 2 3 about HIV and AIDS. We nikifika huko nje niko na boyfriend
Ntajichunga. So yes guys, that is the discussion that we are having right about now. Tunaenda on a very short commercial break, but when we come back, remember we still have a lot to discuss, and today we are looking at HIV and AIDS among young individuals, that is university students, young adults, watu wenye wamemaliza shule. So in case you haven't ndo natujoin saizi, rudi wanze pale nyuma. By the time we are coming from the break, utakuwa catch up na sisi. See you guys in a bit.
Welcome to TAS Media Institute, the home of undiscovered talents. You will be trained by professionals who have a passion in what they do. Do not be left behind. Enroll now and become a pioneer of TAS Media Institute. We are located at Neema Plaza, 2nd floor along Kenyatta Highway in Thika Town. Life can sometimes take unexpected turns, and this family's story is no exception. When a gas explosion completely changed the course of their living, Mr. Joseph Lual and his family have been forced to face unimaginable hardships. But even in this phase of adversity, they have managed to persevere with so much resilience. And as the saying goes, adversity introduces you to yourself. Let's get the story of Mr. Joseph and his family.
So welcome to the first episode of Brain Busters. My name is Mwangi Dominic. Lotko barabara ya MKU. Tunauliza maswali tatanishi.
At TAS Media Institute, we let you discover your talent.
Katika kipindi tunakuletea wasanii.
What's up my guys, I go by the name Reynams.
Eti nikipita kwa macho unanipimia, na kama sina pesa unguwezi nipimia. Hapa Shensta the Poet manze.
Ngoma moto moto.
If you wanna show some love, show some love, I don't fake it. Hey, kumenya mawazo makuu, nani anedera shule, oh, utani wakuu.
Vichekesho mkisongaza, mahojiano moto moto, stori za wasanii pamoja na talanta za wasanii.
Muziki wa kasi gani kama wapatikani wakati wa shida?
Na pia kwenye kipindi utabambika, utajijenga, utaelimika, utakuza talanta yako.
My name is Rebecca Mutie, I'm a model and I'm Afri Kenya. I'm a student. Napenda kusikiza kipindi cha Bonga na Katoni kila Jumatatu kuanzia saa 9 mpaka saa 10.
Kumbuka ni kwenye Bonga na Katoni ndani ya TAS TV kuanzia saa 9 hadi saa 10 kila siku ya Jumatatu.
This is Bonga na Katoni in TAS TV. Karibuni.
Get informed on what is happening in our political scenes and people who are making headlines in different parts of the country and the world right here at TAS TV. Join me, Lavin Nyagoa, as I bring to you weekly news highlights that are factual every Friday at 4 o'clock. See you then.
Welcome back, guys. In case you're joining us just now, we are talking about HIV and AIDS among university students, that is young adults, the youth, the age bracket between 18 to mostly 26 years, because those are the people who you're most likely to interact with in universities, colleges, TVETs, depending on the institution that you're going to school. And I have Zaina. I call her Zaina, but her name is Zaituni. So she's a student at ICS College. ICS College is a school in Thika Town. So Zaituni, before we went on that break, we were talking about, how to make sure that people destigmatize persons living with HIV and AIDS. And some of the ways you mentioned is having open conversations. Now, away from that, can we now talk about ways in which we can increase more awareness? That means that the education side of it. How can we make sure that we have a very effective ways to educate young people about HIV and AIDS and the safe practices that are there?
Well, I can say, for example, in high school, wanakuwaga hizi lessons zinaitwa life skills, right? So, kitu kama life skills, at least wana engage na conversations kama hizi. Ama shule wana make sure they have counselors. Wenye ikifika ni time life skills wanajua leo tunaenda kuongelelea kuhusu HIV kwa class. Get when it comes to campuses, wao wenyewe unajua campus already msha grow, at least mko na knowledge about life kidogo, hata kama si sana. Maybe kuna mwenye anaweza kuwa ana research about hizi vitu. Unapata mnakutana tu, mna engage na hizi conversations pia. Na kama una feel pia we mwenyewe hauko fiti kuongelelea hizi vitu, mnaweza tafuta pia counselor wenyewe tu kwa wenyewe, anakuja anaongelesha about HIV and AIDS. At least hiyo knowledge ina spread, na hivyo ndivyo utapata tutapunguza hii mambo ya HIV and AIDS.
Okay, so we have culture and society and the expectations, some of the image that they tend to put out there. We have people who stigmatize people or discriminate persons living with HIV and AIDS because in their community kuna hizi myths zenye tuliongelelea at the beginning, where ukiwa na HIV we should not talk to you, ukiwa na HIV we should not engage you in the activities that you are doing. What are some of the ways that we can make sure that hizi cultural barriers are totally done away with?
Through like make these people close to you pia. They are human beings, for heaven's sake. Naget. So like watu by the percentage kubwa ya wenye wako na HIV, especially we young youth, wengi sana isolate kwa sababu hiyo tabia. Hiyo tabia ya ati anaogopa akienda mbele ya watu wataanza kusema kuna HIV, hata watamkaribia and stuff. Na ifai kuwa hivyo, cause ndio unapata hata wengi wana commit suicide kwa sababu huwezi ishi bila watu. So we should like engage with them, have talks with them, at least wa motivate, waone pia wao ni watu wanafaa kuishi. At least kama like when you're the person mwenye uko na HIV, like make sure una get treatment vizuri. Pia wewe like pia health yako pia iko fiti.
Sorry for cutting you short. And I also feel the moment you're having this in you, that is not the end of life. And ukitake your medication as required vizuri, nobody will even get to the point of actually knowing you have HIV and
unless
AIDS, unless you decide to come out.
watu wengi wako na HIV na uwezi jua.
Yeah.
Uwezi jua, wako healthy sana.
Exactly.
Unapata hata mtu wako na mwili hadi kukushinda na ako nayo, lakini uwezi jua.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's upon you as an individual to make sure that hizi dawa zenye umepatiwa hospitali, you're taking them carefully. You make sure that you handle each and every single step. You make sure that in each and every day you take your medicine as prescribed. So Zainab, tukiendelea, as we slowly come to the end of today's conversation, we have the power of social media. So how can we use social media to promote HIV awareness and prevention?
Social media by watching maybe shows. For example, when nimesema hiyo show ya Inoro TV, inaitwa Daktari ama inaitwa but iko by watching such shows,
and also really kama hii yetu.
Exactly. Also Nona.
Yeah, imagine we have like a whole program that is just meant for educating people on HIV and AIDS. Counting the Red Ribbon is like a very vital show that you could actually come juu tunaongelelea each and everything. There is nothing yenye so far hatujaongelelea. If you watch our shows from the beginning, you'll realize that we have taught people all the way to different types of protection, different types of ways that you could actually protect yourself and protect the next person, right? Okay.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. So aside from that, we also have people who create videos, and you're one of them. Maybe you talk to us about that.
Exactly. By maybe content, kuna watu wana create content pia about kueducate watu kuhusu not only HIV but hata magonjwa ingine kama cancer. For example, kama TikTok, kuna time nimekama across watu wengi wanaongelelea cancer. Wamefight cancer. Unapata wana motivate watu pia wenye wako nayo to keep fighting. So social media, it's doing a good job, by the way.
Such a good job, because tell me, we on social media ndo tumeona people like Githaiga. I don't know if that's his, sikumbuki jina yake vizuri, but I think that is his name. They actually come online and take medicine watu wakiona, which is like such a good step, because niambia kitambo, if actually you just came out saying you're HIV and AIDS, nobody else knows that you're positive. Nobody else knows you're positive. But right now, if people can even comfortably take medications mbele yetu, which is like such a huge step, and that is a bold step if you'd ask me. It's a good way of actually telling people that this is something that is there, and it's so normal.
It's not supposed to hinder you kufanya vitu zenye unafaa kufanya in life. It's not the end of you.
Exactly. Yes. Okay. So now, as we conclude, let's talk about the role that schools, universities are playing just to support their students who are living with HIV and AIDS.
The role?
Yeah.
Well, naweza sema wanajaribu, but bado kidogo.
Hawajafika pale.
Bado hawajafika penye inafaa kufika, but they are really trying so much. Wanajaribu sana, na pia
the government is also coming in.
The government is coming in.
We've seen them. Kuna kwanga na free kits. Like previously, I can't remember the exact month that the government was distributing free test kits. So government is also coming in handy just to make sure that people support one another.
Not even hata kits peke. Si hata the
medication,
condoms,
exactly, protection.
The protection. Si wanapewa bure. Wanapewa bure.
And that is like actually the first way ya kujiprotect.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so it has been an amazing conversation. We're going to be having Zainab on other episodes as well, and interact with other youths peer, so that they could just come out and talk to us about, HIV and AIDS, and actually let you guys know that talking about this is so normal. It's so normal, and it's okay to talk about, to have this conversation. Be very open, talk about them, create more awareness, create more campaigns. That is the goal that we are having, guys. So thank you so much for joining us today. Zainab, maybe just, the last advice that you'd give to any person who's living with HIV.
So Mimi, I would say HIV it's not the end of you. Wewe bora tu umeenda hospitali, umetake the medication na unajua unazikunywa on time, unajua masaa unafaa kutake. Maze keep going.
Yeah.
Pia wewe ni shujaa.
Exactly. Pia wewe ni shujaa. What an amazing way to end the show. It has been amazing, and if you've watched up until this point, please thank you so much, and thank you for choosing Counting the Red Ribbon all day, every day, guys. So asanteni sana. My name is Lavin Nyagoa, and until we meet next week, God bless you.
Get informed on what is happening in our political scenes and people who are making headlines in different parts of the country and the world right here at TAS TV. Join me, Lavin Nyagoa, as I bring to you weekly news highlights that are factual every Friday at 4 o'clock. See you then.